Recording on computer. Okay, there we go. Okay, perfect. Alrighty, guys. So today's call, we wanted to talk about accountability groups and learning to host your own, kind of what it takes. I know you guys as baby coaches, you guys are starting to grow. You will, at the beginning put people into a cupcake, and that's totally fine. At the beginning. However, as you start to get more people, I think my first challenge group ever, well, I partnered up with somebody, which you're totally able to do, just like me and Kayla do. But I had 2 people in there for the longest. And I had hardly anybody participating until like October of this year. But it was a learning curve, and it's part of running a business, and it's part of what we do. But one thing that I was always able to say was that, I was, putting in the work, doing this for my girls, and there is a sense of pride that comes behind it. And it's really amazing, to be able to say, that you put your heart and soul into this community. Right. And it's something I'm so proud to say about Cupcake, even though Kayla and I share the workload. It's both of our masterminds coming together, planning all this stuff, doing all the work, and making it what it is. And it has just turned into such a beautiful thing. And we want that for you guys too. So what we did today is we just, prepared a call for you guys. There aren't any fancy slides or anything. I'll show you a couple things, but we wanted to take all the guesswork out of it for you and basically tell you what has worked for us. Every coach does things differently, but this is, what we found to be successful. So we found that there are 4, essential pieces to running a successful group. The first step 1 would definitely be the prep work. There is work that you put into the group before it even starts. And we'll go into more detail on this. Second would be planning a successful start for your group. Third is keeping people engaged without making them feel overwhelmed. And then finally, motivating them through their journey and continuing beyond whatever 3-week, 6-week, 8-week, 80-day program that they have committed to, so that they really turn this into a lifestyle like we all know that it can be. So going back from the top, talking about prep work, this starts, in my eyes, as early as your welcome email. So every time I enroll somebody, they get a welcome email. There's only 2 variations of it really for me. It has the same body text, but if they sign up as a coach, I include what we've created as a welcome packet. But all of my girls, let me share my screen, and you're welcome to share this with people or make it your own. Let's see, can you guys see my screen? Okay. Let me just pull up the email here.
My computer is frozen.
But can you see stuff?
No.
No? Can everybody else see my screen?
It's slowly doing something. Is it what I know? Like already what I know?
Yeah. You're frozen on my end now. But like Christy and Allie, can you guys see my email and me moving this? Okay. Case computer will catch up. But this is a sample of what I send to people. Again, you guys are welcome to copy it. It's the same thing you guys got from me. I'm sure that Kayla's girls get something similar. But it just says, yay, go ahead and add yourself to our community with like a link to the Facebook group. I always include what program they're going to be starting and when they're starting, so that they have accountability to whatever date we talked about before they enrolled. And they don't have to guess on like what program they're starting. Cause with the library, we know what all is in there, but it can be super overwhelming at first. I talk about, what to expect from the group, that the connections go beyond fitness. And then I talk about the attachment. I also tell them how to log into BOD, what's there, how to update their information. and I give out my cell phone number to everybody. You don't have to. You can, tell them if email is the best way to get a hold of you or Instagram. You can include that. And I'm happy to copy and paste this, but I just tell them, feel free to text me or call me or, whatever you need. Do I always text back immediately? No, I have business hours too. I don't text people back between 10 o'clock at night and 8 o'clock in the morning because I need to have some respect for my mind. But, I want them to know that I'm here for them for everything. And then included on the email is this packet that I was telling you about. So if you want to create your own, go for greatness. If you want to send them ours until you make your own, again, go for greatness. It's got a little welcome letter on there. It's an interactive PDF, so they can click on this video and it takes them to my YouTube channel where I have a introduction to BOD post, a personal commitment contract. I've maybe gotten 10 of these back ever, but it's fun for them. Even if they don't send it to you, it's a way for them to commit to themselves. It talks about mindset, setting SMART goals, self-love principles. These are courtesy of Ashley, but they're awesome. So we wanted to use them. And it talks about setting their goals for 30 days, 3 months, 6 months, a year, all of that. Sorry?
For coaches, or is this
This is the one for everybody.
Okay.
This is the one for everybody in our accountability group. And then, it talks about non-scale victories and meal plan principles, tracking, progress photos, transformation, all of that. So pretty much really encapsulates everything that I would need to cover in the group in a 15-page book that they can go through at their leisure. The nice thing about this is that whether they go through it or not is up to them. But I know that I've given them all the tools to be successful. There is no doubt in my mind, that I sit there and I'm like, people drop out of the groups all the time. They decided to drop out of the group. I know it's not for lack of effort on my end. I know that I've given them all the tools. The other one, by the way, this PDF, if you need it, is in the files section of the Cupcake group. And then the coaching one is separate in the files of the Cupcake group. So, let me stop my share here. So that is one of the ways that I get them set up for a successful start. Not only that, I also, set and commit to a date. Usually I do the third Monday of every month, there'll be a date for new people, a new wave of people to start. Even though it's an ongoing group, I have found those to be more successful than starting a different group each time. Personally, I know Kayla feels the same way. But that way I always have something that people can enroll for. And I choose a platform. There are 2 platforms that you guys can go with, 2 traditional platforms that you guys can go with. Facebook, which is what we do for Cupcake. But there's also, Beachbody has what's called the Challenge Tracker app. It's free for coaches. It's a great resource. It's a free app for Android and iPhone. You can still schedule your posts, do posts. People can actually track their Shakeology measurements and maybe containers in there. I mean, it's a great resource. And the only thing that I didn't love about it was it seemed to be a little bit less interaction just because it's another app that people have to go to. At least with Facebook, people are generally scrolling through there throughout the day. And it's got a little bit more of a personal, touch to it because it's people's Facebooks. But I've used both and I think that they're both great. So if you're doing Facebook and you want to try something different, if you go to your coach office, there are tons of trainings and resources and posts for all challenge groups, but especially the challenge tracker app. So, let me see here. Okay, I thought I had a question. Let me see. Sorry, I was texting Kayla back. So weird. Okay. So second would be okay, yeah, sorry. First was prep work, setting a date, promoting it, choosing a platform, and then second is planning a successful start. So setting up, your welcome email that goes out, the packet that goes out, checking in, with people if you don't hear from them. Like I always, at least in the back of my head, try to make sure that I at least bare minimum see the Facebook request come through. That is another nice thing about the Challenge Tracker app is that if people don't have Facebook, you don't have to like convince them to get a Facebook to be in your group. It sounds like a silly turnoff, but I have had people that are like, oh, I'm not going to do my fitness journey because I don't have Facebook. Like, to each their own, but that is something you can avoid with the Challenge Tracker app. Anyway, so I bare minimum make sure I see the request come through, make sure that they got my welcome email. I actually have one girl that I enrolled yesterday that I'm going to follow up with after the call because I haven't seen her request come through. I just want to make sure that she's getting these resources. Again, I can make sure that at the end of the day, I can say that I did everything, possible to make sure that she was successful. And then we always set up a welcome post. I know you guys have seen this in the group. It's a way for, with all of this, some people are going to do all of it. Some people are going to do none of it, but it's there. I always include a welcome post so that people can introduce themselves. They can get to know other people in the group, maybe see people that live near them and, kind of bond and be success partners with each other, even if it's just in fitness, and staying motivated and on track. And then I include like some fun stuff in there too, because if it's all, like boring stuff, like, what's your name, where you're from, what program are you doing, what are your goals? I always include something fun in there, like what's your favorite show on Netflix, or, what's your favorite color, or include a GIF below about how excited you are or something like that, just to get a little bit of traction going, something fun. We set up a welcome call. Generally, when I've run groups, I've done really well trying to make sure everybody gets their stuff in like the week before, the Sunday before, just so I can at least make sure their stuff is in the mail. And then I set up a welcome call, either on Zoom or you can do it Facebook Live. You can record both options if people can't tune in. But on the welcome call, it's nice for people to be able to have a place to chime in, get to see their coach. I mean, you guys might not think that you're a big deal, but it's really fun for people that have gotten to, follow you on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, however they found you, get to interact with you on a personal level. Something as simple as a Zoom call for people, that can be the boost that they need. A form of interaction with their coach, the person that they're trusting on this intimate journey, to, be able to talk to you and ask questions. And it's a great place for people to just come and, that was weird, come and get, like I said, interaction with our coach. So do welcome call, and I make sure that any questions are answered before the group starts. Another option that I've done to start their group with Cupcake, I don't really do this, but in previous groups I've run like a prep week. So I just bump the start date back. I have like a workout start date where the group officially starts. So say that was going to be Monday the 18th. I would try to get everybody enrolled. I'm always accepting people. I'm not going to turn my nose up on the 12th, but I tell everyone I try to get them enrolled by the 11th so I can get their stuff in the mail. But the week before, we can do like a prep week where we go through BOD and the meal plan and getting everybody oriented. Definitely not required, but it's an option to, get the ball rolling and get people excited without having to wait a super long time. Let's see. Does anybody have questions so far?
I do.
Okay, go for it.
Did you like at first just create like I did like a welcome letter like that, like I send out to everybody,
Uh-huh.
but like I have like a team name on it or whatever like that I've created for myself. But do you like with Eat the Damn Cupcake, like do you think it's more appealing to do just like your team name for a page or like to create like an accountability type page?
I
Like,
have both. I've had both.
oh,
Yeah, so I've had both from the beginning. And I feel like that's probably pretty common, at least from what I know, from being in Ashley's group and everything. So now that we run our pages together, it's a little bit differently. But like my team name is Hustle Your Happiness Family. But for my accountability group, because it's separate from the whole coaching aspect, it's been a lot of things, but most recently Eat the Damn Cupcake.
okay.
So, whatever group name I try to go with, I just make it a little bit catchy. At one point I was doing new groups every single month before I decided to start running an ongoing group. And so I would just come up with a different, group name, like Spring into Fitness or, God, I don't even remember some of the stuff, Summer Slim Down, something like that. Whatever you wanted to name it, whatever you felt appropriate and went with your vibe or whatever. But I have always kept those separate. And I know Kayla does the same. Like she has Inspire Empire and Eat the Damn Cupcake. So.
Okay. Like I have a team name and everything, so I'm like, should probably start one, but like, I don't know about, like, I'm more nervous about the accountability group to start. I want to find someone to start one with because I just feel like it'd be easier because I don't have like that many girls, but
yeah, I mean, yeah, I get it. I was definitely nervous to start one too. I guess it was a little bit more kind of bite the bullet for me because in Ashley's group, I'm still part of her. I'm still in there. I don't really post in her group at all, but I'm still in there. And there's like 13 or 1,400 people in there. And I just didn't want my girls to get lost in like it's a very different community than what we do, to each their own. But like Ashley's only interaction that she has with people besides a couple comments a day, maybe, is like her weekly boot camp call. At least in our like Eat the Damn Cupcake, we're talking to people, commenting with them, loving on their posts. There's a lot of interaction there. So I didn't want my girls to get lost in that sea. But I will say that it did kind of like force me to become, a leader right off the bat. So I think especially where you're starting to enroll, more people and you're getting your Success Club points, even if it's a small group, just go for it. You've got your group name.
I don't really know. I think I have like 6 working coaches right now, or is it? I don't know. Kayla would, or I don't have any working. I have 6 coaches, and then possibly one that is going to want to work it. So I'm like, I want to start it, but I'm like, I feel like they'll still interact so much in the accountability group right now, like until I start one. So I'm just.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's always like a fear of interaction. Christy though can attest that. In my group, it was literally her and Danny, and they didn't even join until July. They were like my only 2 people that were interacting until like November-ish. I mean, it's just how it was. I think that because your girls are in Cupcake, they have been introduced to a culture of, talking and responding and creating conversation. I think because they started there, that you will be fine. When you start your own group, there's, always that little bit of nervousness. But, if you want to start a group, talk to Miriam or Christy or Danny or Caitlin or Krista or whoever is on the, team up with somebody and, just.
You just have to like rip off the Band-Aid and just do it.
You just eat the damn cupcake.
Eat the damn cupcake. And, at some point, what's going to happen, Allie, is you're going to continue enrolling people. and you're going to keep adding them. And then it's like when you'll never feel ready to start a group, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like at some point you have to, and it's like you've proven to yourself you can do it with the group that you and Jordan ran for that 1 week. Like you can do it. My first group was 3 people and 1 person participated. Like I had to start somewhere. I didn't have the luxury of adding people to Ashley's group. Like I didn't personally. And, you know, I had to start somewhere. And they are more than welcome. They can stay in the group, or they can, you know, hop on over to yours and just kind of explain to them like what's going on. And just say, you know, it's time for me to, you know, start running my own groups. But I feel like you're ready, you know? And I didn't start running groups I did I coached for 1.5 years before I joined forces with Brittany. Almost 2 years before I started running groups with someone else. Like I did it all myself.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that you have to run groups with someone else. Like I preferred to do it by myself for the longest time. And then I got comfortable with Brittany after working with her in our businesses together for a few months.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, for me, like I said, so when I first started my group, I never enrolled in Ashley's because that's just not the culture that I wanted to start my girls in, no matter how few I had. So I started doing them with Allie, and then like Love Her to Pieces. It just wasn't the best. It wasn't like how I wanted to run my groups and all of that. It just wasn't exactly the culture that I was going for. So I, you know, told my girls, and which I wish that Danny was on here because she was one of them. I was like, hey, we're starting our own thing. So come on. And I grabbed my little ducklings and we started a group, and, you know, it grew, from there. And it was really, you know, it was nice to be able to put in the legwork and call it my own. So it was definitely nerve-wracking at first. I had plenty of conversations with lots of coaches about how I had no idea what I was doing. But, you know, it was a lot like just starting to coach in general. You know, you learn with time, and I think you've gotten to, you know, see how, you know, we do things, how things have been successful. Like I said, your girls have been introduced to a culture of interaction. So I don't think that you'll have an issue starting your own group. I think that you'll be just fine. It is scary to rip off the Band-Aid, but it's going to be awesome. So did anybody else have any questions about
well,
that?
and I just want to say this too, and I feel like I can speak for Brittany about all of you. I feel like at some point, like we will begin to do a disservice to you guys if we're not helping you grow, if we're not helping you develop as a coach, if we're just constantly like, here's the spoon, Allie, like here's the spoon, Miriam, you know, come on, bring your girls in. Like we do it because we love y'all and we want to help. But at some point we have to let you guys fly and, you know, try it yourself. And it's only going to make you better and a better coach if we do that. So, you know, shame on us for continuing to hold your hand like we do. We're going to hold your hand, but we want you guys to, you know, test out the waters on your own. And we believe in every single one of you that you can do it. You know how to run a group. You've seen it done. Maybe there's stuff that we do that you're like, oh, I don't really care for that. And there's stuff that you guys like that we do. Make it your own. Take it and run with it.
Like with your team page, do you put like everyone in it or just like your coaches?
So that's a good question.
Just like a personal.
With this runner circle page, like I personally have just been putting my working coaches in there. I have 1 or 2 discount coaches that are like on the fence about doing it. For the longest time, I had everyone in my team page. I don't even use that old team page anymore. It's just the runner circle page. Cause to me, it's like, I want to work with you guys, you know? But I used to put my discount coaches in the other page, and that got some of them wanting to work the business. And so that helped. But I just did not, I'm not at a spot right now where I can run the accountability group, the runner circle page, a special team page for everybody. Like I'm just not at that point in life. So I'm putting all my energy into my people that say they're going to work or say that they want to work. So
well, that's like I'm just like with starting a team page. Like I don't know if it'd be better to start a team page or like an accountability, like a bigger
accountability group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Accountability group all the way. At this point, you're enrolling people, that are not necessarily coaching, but I think you need to put all your focus on your accountability group. I didn't start a team page until 7-8 months into the business. Because I could only focus on one thing at a time. But that's just me personally. Brittany, what about you?
I definitely started by focusing on the accountability group. I started a team page maybe after Summit, but it didn't have a lot of I didn't have any working coaches. I mean, I had one in July and then she disappeared, fell off the face of the earth. But I mostly just use that to post I don't know, a couple things like discounts, stuff for coaches. It wasn't super interactive. It was just information. But then as I started, I didn't really have a ton of the working coaches that I had. There were few, and I would just keep up with them, in that team page and on my own pretty much. People like Christy, Danny, a couple other people. And then I joined forces with Kayla, and now we have the Runner Circle page, and it's a little bit different. But definitely, like Kayla said, focus on building your accountability group, and coaches will follow. If you have, working coaches, you're welcome to add them to our Runner Circle page, coach family page, all of that, of course.
Yeah, so you guys can treat your coaches like we treat you, and Ashley treats you guys for the coach family page. Even though you're not her personally sponsored coach, you're still welcome in that page. And so same goes for the Runner Circle page, because we can put out information that, you guys haven't thought about yet, or maybe you don't know how to say something. And so they can see it come through. So yeah, come one, come all when it comes to that. But I definitely think you need to focus more on the accountability group and getting that running, and then worry about the coach page.
Okay.
Cool. Any other comments about prep work or starting an accountability group before Kayla takes on? Cool.
Before Kayla takes on.
Go for it.
I'm going to see what I'm going to talk about. Okay, so I am going to talk about keeping people plugged in and not feeling overwhelmed, which I don't know. Some people have told me in the past that they are overwhelmed with the group, and but not very many. So if you've noticed, we try to keep the posting to 2 to 3 posts a day. Okay. So you're always going to have that sweaty selfie post. It's like your morning newspaper. Okay. You've got you can count on our sweaty selfie post. You can count on Brittany's evening post. And then in the middle, we have just some certain theme for the day. And every week it's pretty much the same if you haven't caught on by now, just to keep it consistent and simple. But we like to split it up daily, so that way we're doing Thirsty Thursday and then Non-Scale Victory Friday, because Fridays are an exciting day, and so we want to celebrate your success for the week. So I've always done Non-Scale Victories on Friday, and so I'll kind of talk about each day, I guess. So 2 to 3 posts a day. Scheduling is your best friend. So if you are not using the scheduler, most of my sweaty selfie posts go up and I don't even post them. I'm still laying in bed probably, trying to get up. And so I am intentional about scheduling those posts, so I'm not having to forget. Now there are days where I'm oh shit, I've got to or post that thing I was supposed to share. But let's be honest here, a lot of us, we're working, we're moms, we're, have weird hours. Things are happening. We're on vacation. So scheduling is your friend. Now, basically when you go to post something, there's going to be a little clock at the top. And there's a little clock before you like post it. And when you click that clock, it'll allow you to say what date and time you're going to be posting. And so I could, if I wanted to, schedule every sweaty selfie from now until however many days from now. And it just gets it done. So I personally am always strategic about my posting because weekends are very hit or miss. And y'all probably have caught on to that by now. Some people are like all on it on Saturday morning. Some people are not. And then Sundays are just very hit or miss. And so just like with your social media, you want to be strategic when you're posting. And I feel the same towards the group. So like Mondays, it's like a motivational post. It's like, let's kick this week's ass type of thing. So I'm intentional about that. For me, I like to post that between 8 and 9 o'clock in the morning, whatever your time zone is, because if I wait until like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, like their day is halfway over at this point. So I like to start them off with a motivational post. Now, as far as the sweaty selfies goes, I've always done a 5 a.m. post because we've got people that work out early. We've got people that are an hour ahead of us, 2 hours ahead of us. And so I learned that if I didn't post as early, that they wouldn't share their selfies because they forgot about it. And so I always say, post it early, regardless if you're a 5 a.m. or not. Schedule that and just send it out. On Tuesdays, we've been doing like a Tuesday tip. So we will, share something that works. But again, these middle of the day posts typically range between like, I would say, 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. is usually when you want to aim, because that's when people are like looking at their social media and checking in and things like that. Wednesdays are just more of like a check-in type of day. So in the beginning, Brittany and I started doing like a live video, but just it got kind of crazy for us to like commit to live videos every Wednesday. So we'll either do a video or because people like to, tune in and feel like they're with you. But you can post something about checking in on their day and, okay, how's your meal plan going this week? How's this going? Blah, blah, blah. And then on Thursdays, it's Thirsty Thursday. And then Fridays, like I said, I am intentional about posting a non-scale victory on Friday because one, people are still engaged with me. It's during the week. We're going to work or whatever. It's not quite the weekend yet. But I know people are excited for the weekend. They're excited for the progress that they've had. It's not one of those posts where it's like, oh, I'm feeling sorry for myself type of thing. Like you'll see people cheer each other on. And so it's just an exciting time. And then Saturdays and Sundays are just kind of like a whatever day. You're still going to have your sweaty selfies and all of that. But again, use the scheduler to your advantage. All right. So even if it's on Sunday and you're like scheduling your post for the week ahead, do it. Okay. Any questions about the scheduling though, or post, ideas?
What times do you suggest for posting those?
Like just any type of post or
so like your sweaty selfie, what time do you normally put that up? Like 5 in the morning? I know you're trying to catch the early birds.
Yeah, so I put it up at 5 because you've got your 5 a.m.ers that are Central Time, or you've got your 6 a.m.ers that are Eastern Time, or maybe your Mountain and Pacific Coast, like they're not quite awake yet, but when they start to get up, they're going to see like all of these people already plugged into the group and saying, hey, here's my workout. I've had such great success with my sweaty selfies going up at that time rather than like 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. because most of us that we interact with are working still. We're working full time. We're not working from home or anything like that. And so if we're going to work out in the morning, we've got to do that. But even if they're evening worker outers, that's not a word, but whatever, they still can see all of the posts and stuff from the day. And like, I'll just sit there some days and just scroll and I'm like, oh my God, all these people have already worked out. Like I've got to get my workout in. So be strategic. 5 a.m. is like the golden time.
Awesome. Cool. And then like my evening posts, I usually throw them up around, I think it's like 11 Eastern, 10, 9, 8. That way it's catching like that.
Yeah. The latest I used to post And this is just me being like, I can be kind of like OCD about different things, and this is something I am. I don't know if OCD is the appropriate phrase, but my latest post in my groups prior to this one were like 8 to 9 p.m. But that was like the people, because even if they, are Christy and Miriam, that, maybe that was 7 for them, or 8, it's still like evening. But I try to think, when are people typically on social media right now, or social media at the moment? I had more engagement when it was around like 8 or 8:30 at night central.
Yeah, I think I moved mine. It might be starting tonight.
You literally just posted it.
To post. Oh, did it go up? Okay. I couldn't remember when I changed it, if it was tomorrow or the next day.
Yeah.
I bumped it back an hour, so it's 10, 9, 8.
Yeah, that's good.
7. Anyway.
I just feel like I can see, and this isn't anything against you, Brittany, but I can tell when they post later, only like 8 people read it or see it, like.
No, I've noticed that too.
Yeah. So, and just play around. Like, maybe your groups are different. Maybe the people that are in your group it's a different ball game. And it's just all about trial and error. And then the other thing, any other questions, guys? Okay. All right. So I'm reading what I'm supposed to be talking about. So motivating clients beginning to end and continuing their journey. So keeping them motivated during the whole experience. I actually reached out to one of our new girls that joined, and she just does not have the best of luck, I feel, with like sickness. She's a single mom to twins, and she's been sick. They've been sick, and there's just other issues with her twin specifically. But I reached out to her, and I said, hey, I noticed you didn't check in today, like you told me you were going to. How are things going? What can I do for you? Like, I will start remembering people that have been plugged into the group, and I realize I haven't seen them, and I'll text them. Now, unfortunately, like, I don't have this great, like, organized plan. I just have a weird memory about things. And so I'll remember people that I need to reach out to, but you can write it down, like, keep an agenda, or keep a list of like, okay, for this month, these people enrolled. Now, in 2 weeks from the day of their enrollment, I just had an idea. Okay. Sorry. I'll share that in a second. But in 2 weeks from enrollment, check in with them, see how they're doing. What can you do to help them, really kick it off and get started? But and sometimes I've reached out to people and they're like, yeah, I just don't post very much. Like, it's not my thing. And I have this one customer who she'll just purchase, but she's never in the group. You never see her, but she's watching. And if you ever click on our post, you can see it says seen by 94 people, or however many people. So it's like people are seeing it, they're just not always posting. And I used to really let that get to me, that like people were not showing up. And then I had to tell myself, I'm doing everything in my power that I can to help people. And this isn't going to be for everybody. And this even, can I admit something here? When I was in Ashley's accountability group, I posted my first day, and that was it. Like, I'm just not someone, as funny as it is, you see me posting now, but I didn't show up in her groups at all. Like, that just wasn't my thing. I got very like, I was like, I don't feel like checking the notifications on hers. Is a way out of hand in my personal opinion, but we don't have thousands of people in this group, so we're okay. But I was just as bad. And so I told myself, okay, so how can I make this community, this culture, really different than that? And so I had to start showing up myself. And so that's why, like, you see me posting my sweaty selfies. It's not to be like, hey, look at me, Coach Kayla. No, it's for y'all to see, like, the expectations are out there. If I'm going to help you, I need you to show up. And so that's why I'll post and stuff myself. But really just checking in with your people. And when they post things on social media, cheer them on and, shout them out if they're okay with that, of course. And so just really, remembering things about them. It all goes back to building relationships and knowing about your people and checking in on them and saying, hey girl, how was that vacation? Or, how are things going with 80-day obsession? I know how excited you were. I haven't really seen you in the group much lately. What can I do for you? What can I do to help you? And then even if it's, I don't post very often, I'm still there. Like, you still asked a question and you got an answer. But I don't know. Any questions about that stuff?
No, I have notes though of things that I'm going to be intentional with. As far as like following up, I mean, guys, it's like even a thing that I have no science to. I wish that I could say that I was better about it, but I'm not. And I don't have Kayla's freak memory. There are times that I'm like going through the group and I'm like, I think I enrolled that person. I'm pretty sure that I enrolled that person.
Brittany, I think with me is, so what I do for a living, like all of the employees of the credit union know me. They come through, when they first start, they know me. I'm their first friend, their first, whatever. And so I've been building relationships for the last 6.5 years. Mm-hmm. And so this is like my thing. And so I try to like share that with you guys because it doesn't come easy to everybody. It really doesn't. But I've learned the importance of having relationships with people, because once you have that relationship with them, they're going to feel comfortable enough to come to you and talk to you. And this type of environment is the most a vulnerable environment you could probably be in. And so you want them to trust you. You want them to have that, relationship with you where they can come to you and talk to you. And so if I was just texting someone in the group right now, like, hey, I was going to call you out in the group today. Like, where are you? And she's opened up to me about what's going on with her. So now I have a better understanding that there's a deeper situation going on, and I'm okay. I'm not okay that she's dealing with that, but I'm okay that I'm doing what I can. I'm a helping hand.
Absolutely. No, I completely agree. And I think it's funny that I struggle so much to remember like people's names in Cupcake and stuff. Cause like for my job at the gym, I mean, we have thousands of people that go through there every week, and somehow some twisted way, I mean, I could tell you parents' names, kids' names, how old they are, what classes they are in, if they started in a Thursday class and moved to a Tuesday class. Like, I remember all of this crazy stuff, but it's definitely been a really interesting learning curve for me. I think people trust me at work in a deep way, and that they trust me, like with their children. They trust me to take care of them. They know that I know them and their family. But it's fun to get to know, and this like might sound weird, it's fun to get to know like adults personally. It's very different. I know they trust me from like a family aspect, but it's fun to get to know people in this intimate.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So, but as far as follow-ups, it'll probably realistically not happen until after the cruise, but I really, really want to take the time to sit down, and Allie did an amazing Google Streak training. I really want to do that and kind of get a grip on it. And I think that that'll be really helpful as far as follow-ups go. But even something as simple as printing out like an enrollment report for the last month and going through and enrolling people, that's something that.
So I'm going to steal something that the branch employees do at work. It's called 222. And I used to have to do this when I worked in the branch. And so basically it's a way to follow up with your members, which our credit union, you have members, not customers or whatever. I won't get into all this. But 2 days you send your member or your customer a thank you card, which I don't know about y'all, but I send all of my new clients and coaches. Hopefully like y'all got them. Miriam, did you get mine? Okay. Because you're my most recent person, I think, for coaching. But I send them a card. I thank them for being a part of the community or choosing me or basically allowing me to be a part of their journey. And, I'm excited to see what they do in 2019, whatever. And then on the other side of the card, I'll put like an inspirational quote, just something simple to be like, let's go and do it, And so they'll get a packet of Energize from me. And so that's like, I guess, my 2-day type of thing. So within 2 days, I'm going to be mailing you out something. 2 weeks is, what is it? I think it's a letter, which is not how you guys are going to do things, but basically it's like at 2 weeks, you're checking. That could be a call, that could be a text, an email. And then in 2 months, which I know this is totally crazy, but we could switch it up. But in 2 months, the employee's manager will call and check in and see how things are going. Now, again, that's different than our situation, but that means that maybe in 2 months, like, you make sure you reach out to them and see how things are going.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just, again, just an idea that we could incorporate. And it could be, I don't know, 111, maybe in 1 day, 1 week, or whatever.
That's something I used to be like more on top of at the very beginning, like sending out Energized packets, but I have it sitting in my room. I just got in the mail yesterday or Tuesday, stuff to send out, but I'm like backtracking. It'll be like pretty much, I got enough stuff for all the people that are active, with me right now. And then going forward, I'm going to be more intentional with it. I think it helps now that they have the sticks. So much cheaper. I
used to buy a packet.
Yeah, no. And I mean, Allie on here knows that I'm the worst at mailing stuff out, because I told her I was going to mail her like Shakeology on like Tuesday, and it's going out tomorrow. So
be careful. She doesn't get mail very easy. You're muted, babe.
Sends me something, she'll like hint and be like, "Did you check your mail today? Like, did you check?"
I had to do that to Brittany yesterday. I'm like, just someone get my surprise already. Jeez.
And she like never. She always has to ask me, and I never get it. Like the first day, like they hit it like on my porch, but like then it snowed, so then it was under snow, and like.
So but the card thing, like, even if you want to do it in bulk, like I've done that before, where I'll write out 10 cards, and then I'll, like, when it's time to send it out, I'll write Brittany at the top. That's not impersonal. It's just efficient for you, because it does. Like, my hand hurts when I'm writing out my cards because I'm so used to typing, but I know how much it's appreciated on the other end. When I get mail, when I get written cards and stuff, I'm like, oh my God, like it's a special thing, and it shows that you took some time to think of that person. And that's your first, like, relationship builder, or one of your first relationship builders is snail mail. And it's great. And so again, you buy some Energize. Like, I purposely bought packets of fruit punch, because I knew, one, I wanted to try it, and two, I was going to start sending them out.
I love that. I do remember how excited I was to get the Energized packet in the mail from Ashley. Something that's
that's what got me to start drinking it.
Yeah.
Which is also another smart business decision.
Yeah. Also, it's a write-off. If you guys order stuff and send it off, it is a tax write-off. No, that's definitely something I'm going to be more intentional about.
But again, once you enroll someone, write their name down, or put them in on a spreadsheet, however you guys keep up with things, and write the date. What date? So Miriam Martin, 3/7/2019. Okay, by 3/9, I better have her card out in the mail. Oh, I've got even more ideas.
You do that with customers and stuff, like everyone?
Everybody.
Yeah. I'll switch up the verbiage a little bit with my coaches. Just because, like, that's even an even bigger deal. You're trusting me to help you run a business. But yeah, customers, coaches, the distinction's not there. And I know you've asked me that before, Allie, if, as far as the accountability group goes, can that be for your coaches, or can that be for your customers? Like, it's all the same thing. And so, it doesn't matter. Like, they're all the same to me. I just talk to my coaches like a lot more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely have a more personal relationship with my coaches. I mean, just because I spend more time with you guys and I love you guys. So, but yay, cool. Did you guys get good information from this? Do you have any questions? I hope that you found it beneficial.
Right?
One thing about this call and then the call that we did last week and the call that we have next week is this month we really wanted to dedicate this month into trainings that were going to help you guys spread your wings. Because like Kayla said, we would be doing you guys a huge disservice if we held your hand forever as tightly as we want to hold on, and just want to help you guys be like as successful without any, slip ups. We want to be there for everything. We're still very much here for you guys, but it's good to spread your wings. And that's something that Kayla and I were talking about, like we were kind of forced to, because that's just, the culture of, having the number one coach in the network as your upline. There's definitely ups and there's definitely some drawbacks to it. But, one of the upsides is that we had to grow up quick. So, but it was good. It was good. And I'm glad that we're able to give you guys these kind of trainings and tips and make it as smooth as possible for you guys, but also push you guys out of the nest.
And so next week, the call, just to kind of give you guys a little, basically what we're going to be talking about. We're going to talk about the benefits of success partners and how Brittany and I, why we decided to run our businesses together, why we decided to bring our teams together, run groups, sneak peeks, why we do everything together, basically, and how helpful it has been for both of us. And I'm going to be real and share, like, some things about, like, the business aspect of it and how having her has helped me continue on. And I'm sure she'll say the same stuff because she's got some stories too. So, because I used to think I had to do this alone, or I was going to do this alone. I didn't need a success buddy, but no, it's okay to have one. So that'll be the call for next week. And then do we need to say anything about cruise call?
Nope. I mean,
I will not be on the cruise call.
Yeah. We aren't going to talk to you guys on the cruise. No, I'm kidding. We're going to have a working call on the cruise.
We have an opportunity.
Yes. We have an opportunity. Kayla, you came up with ideas, so I'll let you spill the beans on it.
Spilling the beans.
I'm excited.
So I'm like on this growth kick, and I think it's just because of what I do at work. And I wanted to give you guys one coach from each team an opportunity to run a call for us while we're gone.
So exciting.
I feel the excitement. Yay.
I'm excited.
But we want to give you guys an opportunity. And so the reason why I wanted to tell you it soon is because at some point we're going to, decide, who's going to lead that call. And this may be a monthly thing where maybe we start letting you guys run calls. But I think it's good for you guys to practice the Zoom stuff and scheduling and rallying the troops. And because it's tough getting y'all on some calls, let me tell you. I love. But let's, we're going to give you guys an opportunity to schedule it and do all of that and communicate with everybody. And that way it's not, so crazy when you do your first call with your team and stuff. So
we're not expecting you guys to do any kind of like big training or anything like that. It's going to be a hustle hour type call. But like Kayla said, rallying the troops, scheduling on Zoom, getting that all put together, putting together an assignment,
Yeah.
It's just all of this stuff that, we do, but you guys are coaches too. So now you can.
But if anyone is interested, we're going to give it a little bit so everyone can watch the recording. Put a little birdie in our ear and we will, Brittany and I will talk about it. And you guys will, you'll be planning it and coming up with the assignments for that hustle hour because it'll be the last Thursday of the month.
Yeah. 2 things on that though. If the only reason that you aren't interested in it is that you're scared, freaking knock it off. I will have no part in that. You're better than that. Because guys, you know all the people that are on this call.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna die. You don't even have to record it. It's a hustle hour. I'm gonna ask you to record it.
Yeah, you don't even have to know what happened.
But yeah, like it's like Vegas. Like it's not gonna go up on the YouTube channel, okay? And then second of all, there is no time limit that would make this like appropriate or inappropriate for you to lead. You can be a coach for a month, you can be a coach for a year, and this would be a great opportunity for you. I would really love to hear from everybody, you know, that they're interested in it. But if either of those 2 things are the things that's holding you back, wipe it away because it's nonsense. So everybody can do it.
Put your back into it. Okay.
I'm excited for you guys.
I love it. I love it. All right. Any final, oh, and then don't forget the calendar. Brittany's got the calendar of the calls and the trainings and stuff. And the call for not next week, but the week after is going to be
Monday.
Next week's still Thursday, but the following week's going to be on a Monday. And again, we know schedules and stuff are crazy and different, but just wanted to throw that out there. Miriam will probably have a child by then.
She goes to the doctor tomorrow, crazy.
Right? Do you go to the doctor tomorrow? Like, she's like, yeah, I'm going to the doctor on Friday, and I may find out if I'm going to have the baby. Just like, okay. No big deal. So send her good vibes, guys. Send her good vibes.
Yay.
All right, ladies. Well, thank you guys for hopping on as usual. Love seeing y'all. We appreciate you soaking in the knowledge and taking notes, and just go kick some booty.
All right, hold on. I'm going to stop the recording and then you can take a picture.
Take a photo.